The continent of Ardra was destroyed at the hands of the Ashen King. And during the course of battle, Lucio and the other warriors of the crystals were left all but battered and broken. By Raph's suggestion, the warriors make for the castle on the far plain. There they find long overdue solace and gain the help of Eureka, a young girl who lives with the Mughals there. Refreshed and emboldened once more, the warriors head for a world thought to be uninhabited. In that world slumbered a great crystal bearing magical power, rivaling even that of a core crystal. But the warriors were not the only ones interested in its power, for they were forced to clash with one of the Ashen King's loyal followers, Volkay, the Ashen Shimmerlance. As their battle intensified, Perrine came to a realization. The Ashen King, Mont, was the same young prince whose life Raph's predecessor, the former warrior of the Dark Crystal, Calidra, had once saved. She also confirmed a lingering suspicion that he knew what led to Calidra losing his life. The threads of fate that tied Perrine and the Ashen King Mont together had become clear. And so too had the tragic past of Mont that led him to abandon his homeland in search of peace and rise again from his despair as the Ashen King.
There is something more to this crystal than merely allowing us to travel between worlds. It is connected to a much greater source of power, one which would allow me to remold the world as I will it.
Acquiring this crystal, the very essence of Calidra's life, marked the beginning of everything. The warriors of the crystals had played no small part in the Ashen King Mont gaining the power of the core crystals. And thus they stand before the Ashen King and his followers, determined to protect this new crystal with their very lives in order to prevent further tragedies. Meanwhile, in order to fulfill his own duty, Dario takes matters into his own hands. Seizing the opportunity when it presented itself, Dario attempted to make contact with the crystal in order to gain its powers.
It is futile! Do you truly think I have not considered all actions you might take? But do not despair. You shall have one another's company in the great beyond!
Forgive me, Lord Dario. I have failed you.
Outplayed by the Ashen Strategist, Dario and Shadowlink suffer mortal wounds. But in the moments that should have been their last, the Will of Light reached out to Dario and Shadowlynx through the crystal. And through this intervention, they gained the power of the crystal in exchange for an inescapable fate. The price they paid was their human lives as they know them. But the incredible power they acquired allowed them to overwhelm their masked foes, Uldoa, the Ashen Strategist, and Ketone, the Ashen Lunacestus, and even force the retreat of the Ashen King, who had no choice but to acknowledge the steel of his opponent's resolve. the awakening of Dario and Shadowlings? Would it lead them toward the resolution of a seemingly endless struggle? Or would it drag them further into the depths of turmoil? The Ashen strategist, Uldoa, sought to open the chamber of the core crystals with the power of a slumbering crystal. Yet now that plot was all but foiled. With a new, decisive plan to reclaim their lost footing in hand, she addresses her liege, the Ashen King, Mont.
Now, let us hear this plan.
Might I ask that the others leave the room first? I wish to speak with your worship alone, though I shall be sure to share your judgments soon after.
Very well. Lunacestus, Shimmerlance, leave us until called upon.
Just a moment, your worship. We've never done such a thing before.
Silence, Shimmerlance. Obey his worship and come with me.
Now, if I might have your worship's attention for a time.
Do you remember that not long ago, I commanded you to remain at my side?
But of course.
Then what is your reason for suggesting this scheme that clearly defies my wishes?
First and foremost, to compensate for the fact our military strength is almost entirely comprised of visions summoned by your worship. It is our army's greatest and only weakness. The average vision soldier does not stand a chance against our foes. But even if one's foes have you bested for a time, there are ways to let their victory be of service. And that will play precisely into my new plan.
There is merit in your words. Only you could convince me so. But I do not find it something that requires the other's absence for you to seek my judgment. Tell me what you truly intend.
If this plan succeeds, then this time, the core crystals will be yours to fully command, along with their limitless power. And when that happens, your worship would have no further need for my presumptuous schemes. Such a success shall, to my mind, mark the finality of my service under your worship.
Finality? Absurd. I will not tolerate such a thing being uttered ever again. Do I make myself clear?
Your worship.
Having power would be meaningless without wisdom and reason to go with it. Surely you know that better than anyone. To see true rebirth come to pass, I would not hesitate to commit the most heinous sins. Ones that send a chill down the very spines of the demons of hell themselves. But after that, once rebirth is achieved, the one who can counsel me when I have a lapse in judgment and set me back on the right path is you. Do you remember, Uldoa? The day you became my subject.
Of course I do. I have never forgotten, not even for a single moment. From that day, I was quite literally reborn.
Where are we? Have we found ourselves in Ardra yet again?
Do not wander too far, Volkay. Stay where I can see you.
Okay!
That child. Anyway, why have we arrived in another Ardra, your worship?
I am unsure. It is hard to say. I am still unable to wield the powers of this crystal completely.
Perhaps our destination is a subconscious choice. So we are teleported to places with some tie to your worship.
A fair point. Maybe that is indeed the reason.
Though this is not the Ardra we knew, it could prove bothersome should we come across someone who recognizes your worship. In the worst case, we could happen upon the version of your worship of this world. And we should take our leave before that can happen.
You are right. We should hide ourselves until I am able to teleport us again.
I see you! You weren't there until you were!
You're a Fennis!
I am the one doing the talking here. Now where in blazes did you lot come from? Unless my eyes betray me, and betray me they would never. You all appeared out of thin air!
You saw that? Then you must be silenced before you can speak another word of it.
You intend to do battle with the great Uldoa? You've got spine to be pointing your blade at the lovely lady of these lands. Lands bestowed by the graces of his fierceness himself.
Wait! I do not wish to fight.
Save your breath and accept your punishment!
I'll fight. To the end.
With gratitude. I will fight until the very end. Let me help you.
All right, you willpower injection! Allow me to beat you into a bloody pulp!
I think not.
Takes more than that. 仕上げだ!
Expect no mercy.
Stay strong. Gratitude.
You have my aid.
My thanks. Let me help you.
Ouch! Picture this!
当然の結果だ。
You're not supposed to be that strong! Who are you two?
There's no need to answer her, your worship. I will finish this quickly.
Wait a moment. Just spare my life, please. I promise I'll be good.
You are the one who chose not to listen.
But I am now, truly. Now that I've got a better look at you, you're wearing the colors of Leonis. Wait, Leonis? Let me gaze at that mug once more. Huh? It is you! The Prince of Leonis, Mont!
As I thought, we cannot leave her alive.
Have you forgotten? It is I, Uldoa! We exchanged pleasantnesses at the founding ceremony for the allied kingdoms of Venice and Leonis!
What? Did you say the allied kingdoms of Venice and Leonis?
Indeed! And all things considered, you seem to be alive and well. Mighty shocked I was to hear you fell in battle against Horn, Prince Mont.
Lord Mont fell in battle?
Well, apparently not. You had a different air about you the last time we met. Had I known why, I would never have behaved so blunderously just now. You used to have such a gentle expression. I did not realize that it was you at all. See? On my hands and knees, I apologize from the bottom of my heartiest of hearts. I beg your forgiveness.
What shall we do, your worship?
Let us watch and listen a little more.
I am certain that his fierceness will be delighted to hear that you are alive and kicking. Come! This is no place to stand around and chat. Please, accompany me to my manor. I assure you it is a safe place. Shall we? What a joyous day!
It would appear that I have fallen in this world. I cannot quite decide how I feel about it.
This is no laughing matter.
For now, fetch Volkay. Let us make the most of the kind invitation we have been offered.
What is keeping you two? Time is not to be wasted!
Besides, it has been a while since Volkay has had a nice meal.
As you wish.
I see. So your memory is in a muddle from a battle injury. These things happen.
Indeed. That is precisely it. I took a terrible blow to the head, from what I understand. I am truly sorry for not realizing who you were. Do forgive me.
Oh, whatever do you mean? In the end, you knew that you could turn to us for help, and here you are. That more than makes up for it. But I must say, fortune certainly has taken a liking to you.
Now you understand why we are at a loss. Could you tell me a bit about the current state of Ardra?
The state of Ardra, you say? Well, it is only a matter of time until the allied kingdoms of Fennis and Leonis rule the entire continent. After the death of King Elda, you and Prince Stern... Oh, wait. I suppose I should call him King Stern now. Anyway, you two lacked a guardian, so his fierceness stepped up to fill that role. So the relationship of our nations could not be better.
I see. That is quite the turn of events.
Stranger things have happened, I suppose. Still, to think that Fennis would make their mark on history in such a way.
Wait, are you truly fine? Your noggin got quite the rattling, didn't it? But no need to fret. His fierceness is on a campaign in Rundal as we speak. If he only fells Jaden, the wars will come to an end. By unifying Ardra, his fierceness will usher in an era of peace.
Moraga unifying Ardra and ushering in peace?
Indeed. And if only the now crowned King Stern and Queen Consort Glaciella could be blessed with a daughter. That child could someday marry into the Fennis bloodline and solidify our two nations even further. But his fierceness lacks a vital piece of the puzzle, a queen of his own.
Just listening to this makes my head spin.
I could not agree more.
But just who should be the one to wed his fierceness? It is mighty vexing to be sure. We're talking about the bride of the fierce ruler of the continent, after all. I must remain alert to not let some scheming, self-obsessed villain of a wench near his fierceness.
I see. That is quite trying indeed.
We have arrived! Welcome to the domain of the Great Aldoa! It is quite the lively town, thanks to the virtuous nature of its loveliest lady.
Oh, Lady Aldoa, you finally returned!
Why do you seem so restless? I was only out for a little hunting. But I was in for quite the surprise. We have the most unexpected visitors.
We must forget about that for now. We have an emergency on our hands. We've received word that the remnants of Ovis's army that we suppressed are gathering near the old border.
What did you just say?
If they breach the border, this territory would be the first place they strike. Most of our soldiers are taking part in the campaign in Rundal. What should we do, my lady?
Eek, composure is not to be loosed. It is all clear to me now, at long last. This is why his fierceness did not have me with him during the all-important final showdown with Rundal. And why my pillow spent so many nights absorbing my bitter tears as I pondered why Kilfei made the cut, but I did not. His fierceness foresaw such a situation, and he left it up to me to defend our lands and people. And what choice do I have but to meet those expectations? You there!
Yes, my lady!
gather all soldiers capable of battle at once. I shall see to their command personally. Why, it was the great old Doa who gave old Roxa of Ovis a personal introduction to the sharp end of a sword. No matter how many of his underlings may gather now, defeat will not be meeting us this day!
Lady Uldoa. Very well. I'll summon our soldiers immediately.
I do not like where this is going. Perhaps we could conceal ourselves within the chaos and slip away.
No. I find myself interested in this world. And in Maraca.
Then we must find a way to have an audience with him.
That will be simple. Uldoa, I wanted to ask you something.
What is it? As you can see, I am about to be quite a busy lady.
Might I be able to aid you in this battle against the remaining Ovis troops? If I could be of service now, I believe Moraga, His Majesty, would be more pleased to see me next we meet.
Oh, whoa, what a reassuring, generous offer! But what of your injuries? Actually, I suppose after witnessing how you fought earlier, there's little to worry about there.
Indeed. I will have Ketone with me, so you can expect us to more than hold our own.
In that case, we would be happy to have you fight alongside us. The little lad with you can play within my manor while he awaits your return.
We would appreciate that. Thank you.
I should be the one thanking you! With your aid, Prince Mont, we will be stronger than ever! Together, we shall stomp out the enemy and make his fiercenesses return all the more triumphant!
My thanks.
I'll fight. To the end.
My gratitude. I will fight until the very end.
我こそ古代人。
どうしてもやる？頑張って行こう。
Stay strong.
Let us end this. I think not. Mercy. Thanks.
More than that. Let me help you.
You're mine! Well done. We stand together, victorious.
The Great Oldoa emerges victorious! Lessons learned by all today, to be sure.
What about the captives, Lady Oldoa?
Tie up the person responsible for this moronic, meaningless battle under arrest. Tightly tight. The other soldiers were likely just incited and led astray. Take their weapons to be on the safe side, then set them free.
Are you sure about this, my lady?
Of course I am sure. Our war will soon come to an end. There is no need for further bloodshed. They will be our fellow countrymen going forward. Sooner or later, they shall be the hardy allies we stand beside in our efforts to establish peace. Later rather than sooner, perhaps, but nonetheless.
Lady Oldoa, it will be as you command.
Great work by you two as well! Such splendid performances have left me in awe once again. I doubt Ovis will be doing anything silly like that again. Now all that is left is to wait for his fierceness to return once Rondal has been conquered.
Do you think that will be soon?
If my assumption is correct, it will be a few more days at best. No more than 10 days, I would think. Until then, I bid you all a relaxing time in my domain. I must now be off to tie up some loose ends, but let us reconvene at dinner or such.
She is outstanding. Her mannerisms are much the same. But is it Moraga who truly guides her actions? I find it most difficult to fathom.
By the looks of her dominion, she governs her people well. But, your worship, I believe...
Yes, I know. There is little we can surmise just from our time with her alone. I would like to bestow you with some of the crystal's power, Kitone. Take it. With it, you should be able to assess not only Venice, but all of Ardra within a short time.
As you command. I shall survey every corner of the land until Moraga returns.
Eight, 9, 10! Are you ready, young Volkay?
Okay!
The great Oldoa has a nose keener than a wolf. I will sniff you out from wherever you may be hiding, young one. And when I do, you shall be punished with snack time!
Lady Oldoa! Lady Oldoa!
What is it? Can you not see that I am playing hide and seek with the lad? Wait, can you not see that we are in the middle of training how to escape enemy territory unseen?
We received word from a messenger. Rundal has declared total surrender. King Moraga is victorious.
What did you just say? That makes this no time to be playing with the little lad. Volke! Ah, not an answer to be heard!
What is this commotion? Did Volke do something?
Ah! When did you get here? Oh, never mind that. I was playing with him, but alas,
That is when it happened. Word of his fierceness is an epic triumph. Ah, I do not know what to do with myself.
I will look for Volke. You should return to your responsibilities.
Thank you. I am truly in your debt. Oh, and while you're at it, let Prince Mont know the good news.
With Rundal's defeat, the wars that plagued the Ardra of this world for years on end were brought to a close with the conquest of the continent by the United Kingdoms of Fennis and Leonis, led by Moraga. Then, a month after word of his victory had reached Fennis,
At last! His fierceness has made his triumphant return to his royal palace! People of the domain! You have faced many a hardship for the longest of times. But now, those long, arduous, vexatious wars are over!
Long live King Moraga! Glory to Fennis!
Thank you, Lady Oldoa.
no need to thank me. Protecting the people is what a general does. But I suppose this means my days on the job are also coming to an end. If so, a journey across the continent at my leisure now that we have peace might be good for me.
Please do not speak of leaving us, Lady Oldoa!
That's right! Your strength is needed now more than ever. And I doubt that will change for some time.
Oh, whatever should I do? Yet another difficulty in the life of an appealing lass.
Now then, His Fierceness has requested you to pay him a visit in his palace at once, Prince Mont. I will of course be joining you as well.
There are rewards to be reaped for all my work during his absence.
I am ready to go anytime. In fact, why do we not go now? Ketone, take care of things in my absence.
As you wish.
you have done well to return to us alive, Prince Mont. It's good to see you again. What is it? Something dead on my face?
No. The pleasure is all mine, Your Majesty. You are looking more youthful than ever. And as you might have heard from Lady Oldoa, my memory is hazy from my injuries in battle. So I ask for your forgiveness if I come across as insolent at any time.
Your memory? I see. Well, worry not. Let me announce this once more. We are the victors of the war spanning Ardra. The United Kingdoms of Venice and Leonis have unified the entire continent.
Congratulations, King Moraga.
We finally done it. We were right to side with Venice over the likes of Rundal or Heindler after our homeland fell.
Indeed we were. But it was all due to His Majesty Moraga's keen eye for our skills.
You're mighty bold now that we're off the battlefield.
Bite your tongue, Zazan! This is a joyous day! Anyway, congratulations, your fierceness, truly!
But the work isn't over yet.
Indeed, indeed. Now we must restore the nations that were damaged during the war and...
Soon as Rundal has been stabilized, we must make preparations for the next battle. That's why I have asked all of you to gather here today.
Right, the next... the battle? Wait, what? What do you mean, your fierceness?
You heard him, didn't you? Can't wage your next war without a target in mind. Not that it matters. There's no way we'd lose now.
Quiet, you two!
I thought the wars were over, your fierceness.
In Ardra, that's the case. No one dares impede my path any longer.
Then...
We'll cross the seas, Oldoa, in search of our next opponent that lies beyond.
What?
Rundal was trading with a number of overseas nations. Now their ships and sailors are at our disposal. We must make proper use of them.
Your fierceness. Your fierceness! I beg you! Please reconsider!
Of all the things you could say, we've got each and every person in Ardra to use as we please now, you know?
And the guild, too. Rundal had themselves quite the trove hoarded away.
Oldoa, you were not there to witness Rundal with your own eyes. If you had been, your thinking would mirror ours now. Varied cultures, immense riches, all brought over from foreign lands.
Gilfey, you are on board with such madness too?
Oldoa, behold. A ring that summons visions, and these bracers of anti-aging. I became aware of something when I claimed them from that man who called himself a messenger of the divine. This power from God shouldn't be used only to rule Ardra.
Do you understand? Venice has been tasked by the heavens to conquer the world to bring an end to all conflicts.
That is...
So it has come to this. Just as I had feared.
But to see it done, the allied kingdoms of Venice and Leonis must take an immovable stance. King Moraga?
Forgive me for this. Just after you return from the dead. But you no longer have a place on the center stage of history.
What is wrong with all of you? You intend to capture Prince Mont?
King Moraga pulls the strings controlling King Stern. But if word of Prince Mont's survival were to spread, it would give rise to unnecessary conflict in Leonis, and that would be an inconvenience for Venice.
How could you, Gilfey? Your fierceness, I beg you once more. please find some way in your heart of hearts to reconsider. Cease these talks of invading foreign kingdoms. How can you possibly consider imprisoning Prince Mont when he has done nothing? I cannot believe your fierceness would do such things.
You're still going on about this, Uldoa? You know, this is starting to reek of you and Mont being up to something.
Surely you jest, Zazon. There are things that are okay to say and things that certainly aren't.
Seize Mont and take him to the holding cells. Uldoa too. Take this time to level your head.
Your fierceness! Stop this! Let me go! Unhand me! Your fierceness, please! Just listen to me! Your fierceness! How could they all do something like this?
People come into power, but few can control it. And soon it controls them. It is a tale as old as time that I have witnessed more times than I can count.
Is that you, Prince Mont?
Apologies, Your Worship. I took longer than I intended.
Kitone? How did you get here? And who is Your Worship?
Keep quiet, lest you want to alert the guards.
Perfect timing, Kitone. Inform Uldoa of what you have been looking into.
Are you sure, Your Worship?
Uldoa has what it takes to understand. It is time to open her eyes.
That cannot be. It is absurd. His fierceness would never impose such an oppressive regime on the annexed nations. His fierceness has always been the epitome of a just, upright, and fair ruler.
It is true that the Moraga of this world possessed the qualities of a great king. But only to the people of Fennis.
Lie not to me! I have heard nothing to prove this!
The reason you were removed from the campaign was not simply because you were entrusted with keeping the lands of Fennis secure.
Then his fierceness left me behind to hide the truth from me? Not just his fierceness, but Kilfei, Zazan, Kumral, and Shinnok too. All of them. Why? I thought we were fellows in arms. Why am I the only one kept in the dark?
You possess great valor and sound insight capable of governing the domain. But more so than that, you possess a heart for your people. Moraga saw that as problematic. I imagine he feared you would one day pose a threat to his rule.
Mont, I will not allow such insults toward his fierceness, not even from you. If you're going to spout trifling speculation, then know there shall be consequences.
Very well. It seems I should not have concerned myself with you. Kitone.
Yes, Your Worship?
We are done here. While my expectations were minimal, what little interest I had in this world is now dead. Human nature again proves it is incapable of changing. Let us go get Volkay.
Very well. Here, Your Worship's blade. I recovered it before coming here.
Huh? He destroyed the cell door with such ease.
I have opened the way out. What you do now is entirely up to you.
Hey, what's going on in here? Huh?
It would have been wishful thinking to expect no guards to be drawn to that noise.
Do not waste mercy on them. They are among the many who will be annihilated sooner or later.
My friends. 我こそ古代史の血を引き締め